not putting their best foot forward because it's not something they give a shit about. And that's painful, but that's true.
Hi guys, Murugi Munyi here.
It's Lydia KM.
And we're back again with another episode of
The Messy In Between.
It's Definitely TMI.
Was that as good?
I think it was okay.
Yeah,
but it wasn't giving the first one. Yeah, exactly. I was just thinking right now, how many years have we been doing this? It's that exact intro.
That's
Are we
crazy.
open to change?
To change the intro.
Yeah, where
guys,
you
tell
go
us
first.
now.
You go first.
But you know,
let's try it.
It needs to have the same zing though.
Okay, let's try it with the same, but like you going first. You saying what I usually say.
What did you say?
Just try.
What did you say again?
Hi guys.
Oh, hi guys, Lydia KM here.
It's Murugi Munyi.
And we're back again with another episode of
The Messy In Between. It's definitely no.
Because you know, even in the way our names are said,
Exactly.
they go with the rhythm
So, you know what?
of like the bit.
Let's just stick with what we know.
And if we had to change, we would have to change the entire thing. It would
No, but why would we have to change the entire thing?
It's Murugi.
No.
Lydia!
You are so millennial. You are so millennial. And you know what? That's okay.
Oh my
That's
God.
okay.
Yeah, I couldn't even imagine what it would be because we're just so used to
I
it.
know. Remember on Hebrew when we used to say it? I remember you saying it's Lydia KM everywhere.
No.
What did you say?
It came on all
social media handles. Take us back. Maybe we find a clip. Insert clip here. Are there clips of us on YouTube?
There, definitely, I'm
Oh
sure.
my God.
Yeah.
I was not in my prime.
Huh?
I was not
Who
in my
was?
prime.
I know the makeup I was doing, baby. Forgive us. We've grown.
Yeah.
We've grown.
I feel like you were always kind of good in makeup.
I was maybe better.
Yeah. Not good.
Not good.
Just better.
Welcome
Yeah.
to this episode of TMI. Guys, tell us if you want us to do our intro again. If you'd like us to, like, for like our 4th anniversary, we just kind of change everything. And you know, like, we need to do a new
Intro thing.
The new intro for sure. But yeah, tell us if you'd like us to do that. If this is the first time, this is your introduction of us. Sometimes we do start the episode faster. Other times, even later. You're lucky we've already started. It's the Messy In Between podcast, and I'm Lydia KM Murugi Munyi, and we are TMI Podcast KE.
Yeah.
Please follow us on all social media handles under that name, and Lydia KM Murugi Munyi everywhere. Actually, she's really banging on TikTok as well, Instagram as well.
And you also are banging on Instagram,
Yeah.
And TikTok is just waiting for you, Kinda, yeah.
Right now we're surviving. We're doing what we can, and it's great that we are here.
Yeah.
But we are really happy that you're here, and we really would appreciate you if you subscribe. To YouTube, if you are following us on the rest of our podcast platforms, because it really does make a difference to us, and especially when we get to those roundup of the year and we see our viewership and stuff like that, it's easier to see when you guys are already subscribed.
Exactly.
So please subscribe.
Yeah, that would be lovely. Every time we beg, I really feel like I'm just like, wow, why would you not want to subscribe, guys? And we're so cool. We're so nice. We're basically friends. Like,
I know, but how many people who you follow do you subscribe to?
But on YouTube,
First,
I hardly ever subscribe
anyone I like,
podcasts.
I do.
Okay, on Spotify, I do actually on Spotify. But then on YouTube, I hardly ever, because I'm not really a YouTube watcher. I used to be. There was a time where YouTube was my everything.
All you did, like makeup. You
used to see that I would always be watching on our TMI page. But now I just don't. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, YouTube has it's space,
Yeah,
but I don't know, for
exactly.
me it's like my space. I literally listen to like my morning affirmations and stuff like that more than anything.
Oh, right,
But anywhere
yeah.
where I listen, I'm subscribed, is
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
That's
So if you're
the point
listening,
you're saying, yeah.
please subscribe.
Exactly.
What are we
yeah.
on today?
Yeah. So there has been a trend going on social media. First of all, whenever trends come on Instagram or TikTok, I'm just like, how many years has social media been there? But there's always something new happening or going on. It's like such a magical thing to me. Like, as many people as there are in the world, there will always be trends. Like, whenever it's this funny sound, I'm like, wow, another banging
I
sound.
know,
It's
and we are
been
all
years,
on it.
and here we are, all of us doing it, a new dance for us to do. I just love it so much. So this past week, what has been trending is people creating videos talking about propaganda they are not falling for, right?
Yeah,
Propaganda they're not
for.
falling for, and then the others who have been doing propaganda they are falling for. But the one for not falling for is the one which has been like number one in like people's For You pages.
For sure.
It's really been interesting, actually.
Me too.
Seeing so many things that people are saying, you're not falling for that. Me, I fell for it years ago. Like,
Yeah.
what are you talking
and what
about?
I found is that, guys,
Yeah.
we have discernment. Look at that. Look at that. I can be talking about oat milk day in, day out. And imagine you have the choice to say no.
Exactly.
Can we implement that in everything else?
Wow.
You are there married. You are there child free. And look at that.
Yeah.
There's peace. It has shown me that people
Exactly.
have discernment, and I'm here for it.
I love it so
I'm here
much.
for
Yeah.
it.
Also, it has shown also that people sharing their lives is not necessarily people trying to influence you to do things. Like you've said, it's discernment. It's like, I can decide I don't want this. I can try it, and I can decide this is not for me, which is a fantastic thing.
I'm happy about
There
that,
are other
for
people
sure.
who, whenever they're doing that trend, I'm just like, I don't know if you're really understanding what propaganda is. Do you know what the definition of propaganda is?
It's like it's like a wave of trying to convince people into one thing. Like
Right.
and like
A
for
sustained
example,
effort,
a
yeah.
really good one is like therapy right now.
Yeah.
I am part of the therapy propaganda. Like I
Yeah,
am
right.
consciously and deliberately trying to convince people
Yeah.
to do it.
Right,
You see?
yeah.
Whereas there's some things which are just like the state of the world.
That's
You
the
know?
thing, yeah.
Yeah.
So
What was the example you said?
which one was it?
Actually, the men.
Actually, men get to relax throughout their lives, and women have to work hard trying to find balance in all areas. And I was like, yeah, I
don't
mean,
know if no one,
it's
no
not
one is trying to
propaganda.
convince
yeah,
you of
exactly,
that. It's
yeah.
what's happening.
Exactly, yeah. So propaganda has to be like, it's a sustained effort by a group of people
Yes.
to get you to believe or to try a certain thing.
Yes.
So we had even asked you guys on Instagram, by the way, and because you're following us on Instagram, we know that you participated in this TMI Podcast KE. So you guys sent a bunch of your the propaganda you guys are not falling for.
Yeah.
But before we get into those ones, me, I want to hear yours.
Okay,
And want you
I
to
have
write.
many.
You have
But
many?
Yes, I'll
Go.
start with the first one. All parents are doing their best. That is propaganda I'm not falling for. They're not. Some people hate being parents. Some people hate their children. They hate parenting, and they're not putting their best foot forward because it's not something they give a shit about. And that's painful, but that's true.
You don't think they're doing their best according to their capacity,
No.
based on
No.
how much they like or don't like those kids?
Huh? Yes, but it's that like that's not their best in parenting.
Right,
Not
yeah.
at all. It's not.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
And this idea that people are only doing the best they can because that's their limit. He decided that what was basic was what was good enough for me, based on his interest in parenting, based on like his value system. There's many things. Some people are parents like, oh, here I am. And it's just like, it's not that way I want to put my effort.
So I see where you're coming from, but I still disagree. And the reason for that is because I feel like if we take that viewpoint, no one then is ever doing their best in anything at all. It's like, I mean, at any one given point in time, you put different levels of effort. But like generally, it could be like, I do my best at my job, but I don't do my best every day. I don't do my best for every video. I don't do my best for whatever. So I could be, as a parent, doing my best generally to try and hold things together. But was this my best today? Because then if I think that way, I am never ever doing my best.
So no, what I think is there are some times where it's a capacity thing. So I want to make that distinction. There is sometimes where it's a capacity thing, but I know for sure where I can see the choice. You could do this thing, which is like, yeah, this is the one that would really be the best, and this one is like you just deciding to do this one. And where I see people have hit a ceiling. And there's many parents who have hit a ceiling. I would personally say that my mom hit a ceiling in some elements in parenting, just out of literally not having the tools, not having any kind of resources to do that. But the interest, you can see, was always there to give it her best shot. But sometimes she hit a ceiling. I can see that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I feel like I would need to give that more thought to properly
for
establish.
me, that propaganda, maybe from the perspective of like, is it like maybe they did try their best, but this propaganda trying to push it that all parents are always trying their best. I did Children and the Law, sweetheart, and I can tell you that the parents who murder their kids, the parents who are abusing their kids consistently, are not doing their best. And to imagine that that's where we've reached, that kids get whatever they get, and that's the best from us. I don't think that's fair. Yeah, I stand 10 toes down on that.
I hear you. Okay, fine. Me,
But
my
you know you are
propaganda
parents
are
as
more
well.
exactly,
I'm
and
not a
I feel
parent.
like but I obviously err more on the side of let's recognize that there are many children who are in really bad, unfortunate circumstances, and I hate when people explain away children's suffering by saying the mom was doing their best or their dad was doing their best when actually they absolutely were not. They were actually being put in dangerous situations.
So that one is
exactly.
All parents are not doing their best.
Exactly, which is like I feel like that's factual.
They're not.
Yeah. Whew, damn, that's a interesting one to start with.
Yep.
Okay, propaganda I'm not falling for. Minimalism in anything. I have come to the realization I'm not a minimalist. Whether it's to do with my house, to do with my decor, to do with my jewelry, to do with my makeup, my anything. I am not a minimalist. I think it's really nice. Like whenever I see like on social media people's aesthetic or someone's house or whatever, I love looking at it because I feel like visually it's so calming and you know. But I've recognized that my life as it is very maximalist, and I like maximalist things, and that's who I am, and that's how I am. I am a maximalist.
And there's many people who actually said that. Like, because the minimalist POV and like neutral colors, it's a serious movement. I support that.
Thank you. And in line with that one, another propaganda I'm not falling for, under consumption. So I feel like there's on TikTok especially, there's like pages which I follow who are such over consumers. Like me, I know I'm an over consumer of lip balm. I have like way more than anyone could ever need. The same way fashionable stepmom, I don't know if you see on her stories when she's posting her perfumes. It's like this whole wall of perfumes that I'm like, so Jackie, I don't exactly. I don't necessarily. I'm not like a propagator of overconsumption, because overconsumption is dangerous, and I guess it does not help the environment. However, there's a side of TikTok which I don't know if you guys have ever gone there, but it's like under consumption core, where it's like severely under consumption, where it's like one lotion and one pair of shoes. I've been using this same jacket since 2015, and until I can't fit in it anymore, I'm not buying another. No, like let's not overconsume, but also may I just want, what's normal consumption? Where is the normal consumption, people? That's what I want.
I would say I'm a normal consumption.
I would say you're a normal consumption person.
Normal consumption,
except when it comes to like those lotions, the oils, all those things you have there.
No,
you
those
don't
ones are most PR.
So what? You have them still.
Yeah, but those are things
that
that have been given.
And who says yes to the PR?
Huh?
Who says yes?
It's
I know there's no PR that comes to you that you've not accepted.
Actually, to be honest, I can't remember the last time I took PR from a client who wasn't paying. Like, these are the things I need for this campaign.
Right.
Yeah, I would say I'm right there, dead in the middle. As far as the over minimalist, for me, my house is a place where I need to be grounded. So color, no, but my wardrobe all over it. Like, I'm happy,
as you can see from this very outfit.
Yes, and I don't think it needs to be like a personality thing you take on and then it spreads everywhere. So I 100% agree with that. Even the and over and under, I agree with that too.
Right, because it's severely under. I'm just like, it's crazy. Here's something that I would say that you need to do. You need to not have more than 3 of a particular product.
I don't.
You
right
don't
now.
need 5 of.
I don't. On my life, I don't.
Oh, how's my phone just reset itself? Oh, that's crazy. And you know what? This is something else you can do. Like today, I received two.
When did this come?
Because let's give her some advice, guys.
That needs to be done.
She's
me. I'm the one who's
some help.
A balanced consumer.
We've all seen that. We've all seen. And then she's like at the before and after decluttering. I was like, bitch, don't lie to us. That you ain't declaring.
I actually did. She was there.
I'll go and find those pictures for you guys. Those things, those like literally 30. I'm like, these things are gonna expire before Lydia uses them. Here's what you can do. Today I got 2 perfumes in PR, and I did the content. And one of them I loved. The other one I was like, I'm not so happy with it. Guess what? It's already in my car for me to give to my sister. Why don't you try that? Because once the campaign is finished, do you need the 7 lotions? You think
the
about that for some
overconsumer
time.
is telling me how to
by the way, I use all my. You've seen, by the way, me, I'm an overconsumer in purchasing, but also in using. Do you see how often I use my products? I don't know.
This is true.
That's the thing. I use all my things.
This is true. Actually, do you know what I'm gonna do? I think this will be an easy one. Anything I haven't used in 2025. has to go.
Thank you.
I'll come back and I'll update you.
Thank
This
you,
is
guys.
true.
Make sure you're following her, Lydia KM. She's going to update us.
I will update you. Yeah, if I haven't used it in 2025, it has to go.
Thank you.
Done.
Okay.
Okay.
What propaganda aren't you falling for again?
Another one. Another propaganda I'm not falling for is that feminism belongs to boss babes. I need you guys to take several seats, and let me tell you why. I do understand how it can be triggering to see women who are like trad wives, and it's like they're bare feet with kids on top of their head, no help, they're cooking every meal, and what you see is what used to be, and what that represents to you is bondage and what we fought to get out of. But unfortunately, if we are saying that feminism is women's choice to choose, you have to breathe in your nose, out through your mouth, and let it be. Because what we are making is like, we are trying to define womanhood, one for sure, and two, we're trying to define how we need to exist as women in order to be considered free. But free means I can choose. And if women right now are choosing to stay at home and be taken care of, it might feel like it's regressive. But that narrative is getting tired. And also, boss babes, you guys haven't rested since 1991.
And you're tired.
You're tired.
You look 50 and you're actually 33.
I don't know if it's benefits you the way that you think. And especially International Women's Day.
Right.
You see who's celebrated.
Yeah.
Only that word.
It's very triggering.
It is very triggering when you see that.
Yeah. But I feel like I 100% agree with you. I feel like because of how now traditional wifery and motherhoodness is what we were initially fighting away from. Of course, it made sense that there was a whole era, especially of millennial women who really were like, actually, no, our parents and us,
a third of our parents
and us, who are just like, no, I make my own money, I can do it all, I balance. You have your laptop. How many pictures have we seen like that? A baby bottle here, but your laptop here, you're on the phone and your makeup is getting done, and it's like, whoa, look at her. I think definitely I love that Gen Zs are completely shedding that narrative, and for them it's kind of like, I can choose to be taken care of at home, like that's perfectly fine. I can get married and be a stay-at-home wife, it's perfectly fine. This also ties into something that someone DM'd me yesterday. She was like, after I showed my hair and whatever, she was like, this is so sad to see that African women are still not able to embrace.
I have one. Pin that.
African women are not embracing their afro and whatever. She even proceeded to send me a picture of her with her very matted afro. That afro looked like it ain't been combed for 2 years. And I was like, you don't think that this could just be a choice? Like, I can just choose that I can have braids yesterday and tomorrow I can do my hair straight, and the next day I could decide I want to cut it short and whatever. Let's let women have choice. Women should be able to choose whether they want to work, whether they don't want to work, whether they can, have babies, don't want to have babies. Let women just choose.
There are some places where I draw the line on the choice myself personally, but the propaganda I'm not falling for is this. I did see someone saying that, we fought so hard for women to be independent and to do this. No. We fought for women to have the right to choose to be independent or not. Exactly. And the dream for women is that we are so free that we can choose bondage. That's it. That's true freedom. And it sucks sometimes to see, and it annoys me sometimes too, when this is what is being perpetuated, and I feel scared for the generation who might come and think that this is cool, knowing that some of the ways that women were being mistreated and given limited choices because they weren't financially independent. It scares me. But unfortunately, I don't want to live in a world where women can only have one thing, just like how before it used to be. We could only be in bondage.
Right.
Yeah.
Lydia, your points are very, very
I have lighter ones.
Please let's go to the lighter ones.
So now that one, on that point I had said is that the propaganda I'm not falling for is that wearing wig or having your hair straight or having any European-centric hair is self-hatred. The same way I can eat Kenyan food today and tomorrow eat Nigerian, and I don't hate Kenya and I don't hate being Kenyan.
What a concept! What a concept!
The variety for me really works, and I have had my natural hair forever. I just texture my hair, and it's the first time you guys even can see my hair.
First time she's had her hair out for this long. What?
And that's what I want to do, and that's what I want to enjoy. And it's okay if you believe it's self-hatred, but I simply don't.
Exactly. I like that one. Okay, fine. Another thing that another more propaganda that I am not falling for is quiet luxury or enjoyment. there's a Drake song that my son played for me this morning. It's called Lose You, and where someone was saying that people really like you when you're working towards something, but not when you've gotten there, not when you've arrived. So like when you're in the hustle part of like your life, and it's like, oh, you're struggling, you're going to 9 to 5, you're building a business, you're what, everybody's just like, yeah, you know, we're all in it together. But now when you've arrived and like you're enjoying life and like you're, you know, like living just like comfortably, you could be showing the exact same things you were showing before, like, oh, this is my home, this is where I'm traveling to, whatever. But now it's like, oh, you're showing off. Oh wow, you can't just, you know, just nini in silence, like, gosh, you're really showing up. No, let's normalize the same way that when people are suffering, they come online and you guys encourage them or whatever. Even when people are having fun and they are showing how happy they are in their relationship, they are showing what beautiful thing their kid is doing. They are doing a house tour of their enormous house in Runda. Let's also celebrate that, because people don't deserve to move in silence now when they have arrived where they are going. And not only at the time for suffering is when we should be posting. I think that
I 100% agree.
Yeah.
One of them is like now when you're demonstrating that struggle, one of them is demonstrating connection, the other one is demonstrating significance, and your significance obviously has nothing to do with them, and they are not able to necessarily relate to that.
That's
but
true.
some people are. I personally, like when I'm on TikTok, I live on Rich Talk. I want to see it. Show me your billion. Show me. That's what I like to see, because I don't know. It's like just like the variety of life. I want to see like
how
everyone
big are people's lives.
And even if somebody who is in the struggle, it's just like, oh my God, wow, look what she's managing to do. I feel like it's fine.
Right.
Variety is fine.
You're
Imagine.
right. Me, I'm a Rich Talk snob though. There's only certain Rich Talks I like. I like the like entrepreneur Rich Talk. I don't like the ones with like you were just born into money.
Oh no.
I don't like those ones. Actually, like they have their inheritance that they're just daddy's money. I'm sorry, I don't like that one, because it just gives like
resentment.
That was not the word I was gonna say. No,
and that's a profile about you when you show yours.
No, I feel like, no, honestly, hear me out. I feel like there's a depth to the way someone experiences money when they grew up without it. Like, I don't know, there's a certain je ne sais quoi with the way that they are so appreciative and the way they see things like with a fresh light. Whereas somebody else who was just like, this has always been my life, they almost like take the things for granted, which I'm just like, do you realize what a really amazing thing that is, that you were just bought for a G-Wagon for your birthday? Like, that's like huge. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I understand why that's your perspective. I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
And for sure, despite the fact that, Joe, you always say that we shouldn't toil for money, you really push the narrative of like toiling for money. You really,
because that has been
hard work. I didn't work. The Bible says you deserve nothing if you have not worked.
Exactly. And so that's why I like the Rich Talk of people who have worked, because it encourages me that I can.
But then at the same time, you tell us that we need to be chill. Like, we don't need to toil for money. That's what I tell other people, so I can get wealthy while they are relaxing. The big secret is out. The big secret is out. You guys are together. You're not together. I find that I like when I see ease with money. Like, I like that. That's something I really like to see. And also, first of all, you need to take notes, because if you're trying to be the wealthy that you want to be, your kids are going to be them. Yeah, because no matter how hard they work for it, it's never the same. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, never ever the same. So I don't mind either one. In fact, this one of like toiling. Yeah. Not toiling. Let's just say working, because you say toiling, it looks like they are in the farm. You do. No, but it's a different toil. You are just toiling digitally. The digitoil. The digitoil. You're the digitoiler. There's someone I'll show you. Like, there's someone I'm obsessed with. Her name is Grace, and she is the CEO of Tala. It's like this really amazing like sportswear brand, and she gives the kind of entrepreneur work that I'm talking. It can't be too toily. Right. It can't. Now, here, how about the fact that I recognize people sometimes, especially people like her or like people like Emma Grady, sometimes they don't show the toil, but I know they are somewhere. Emma shows the toil. Okay. I have never seen her like slowed ever. So I know she's toiling.
But sometimes I feel like some people just don't seem like they're toiling, but I know behind the scenes
They are.
But they come up and they'll just be like this. You'll only see them in the photo shoot. You'll only see them looking until the day they write a book, and you're like, whoa, girl,
but
you
Gracie
going
shows
through
us
this?
she just doesn't present that energy. It's like she'll tell us like, oh my God, we started to do this. We were opening the store and then everything fell apart. You know, like you can see, oh my God, this was really shit. She just, I don't know, maybe it's just energy.
She does
it's
it
an
with
energy
grace.
thing. Maybe she does it with grace, or it's like she just says it as a matter of fact. She's not trying to push the world is falling apart and you must work hard for the no, but she works hard. You can tell it's not possible that she has everything she has if she's not having sleepless nights. Emma, even when she walks into her office, just her morning walk, because she does these compilation of how she walked into her office. Fucking hell.
Even what she's wearing, I'm like, I know you're gonna work hard today. She always has these suits and whatever, and I'm always like,
she is.
what?
Yeah.
You're
so
working.
what have we learned from this point?
I don't know. I truly don't know.
We tend to resent what we feel detached from, and what we feel we may not have.
Yeah. But not necessarily. And there are people who have different perspectives, because me, when I see what I don't have, like when I watch Jackie Aina's life, I just feel so inspired and like,
but
wow.
She told to get there.
Yeah.
And you're in the way to toiling.
I'm a digitoiler, as you've heard.
Digitoiler.
Speaking of my kids may grow up and inherit, one of you guys in your submission said, Ati propaganda, you're not falling for leaving inheritance for your children. So, what is it that you don't want to grow your wealth? Because the reality is that if you are wealthy and you die, what happens to your wealth?
Don't. Like even like Bill Gates is giving away most of his.
But him giving away 99%, even that 1% is more than what the whole world has combined.
Yeah, but that would be the process. Like you just tell your lawyers.
Yeah, but this one at least you're leaving. I imagine he's leaving something to his kids. Like that one to me, honestly, was just giving. You don't like your children,
or
because
maybe
why would you want them to suffer? Yeah, but like why?
But you know, a lot of people have that,
which is crazy to me.
But this same concept of like that want for your kids to be like you. A lot of people want to put those principles into their children the way they are. I know a family who's like, their granddad was so rich, as in stinking rich. Yes, they're Kikuyu. Say no.
You didn't
more.
even need to
you
say.
Didn't need to say stinking rich. And when I'm telling you, they used to be made to like go farming. Now, like their parents, like you need to farm, you need to do this, you need to basically like work for your school fees. And it's this whole like, I want my kids to be down to earth. I don't know.
I think it builds resentment in your children. And I think that when I first met Zach, I remember he used to say that his kids need to go to like a proper public boarding school, because that's where he learned resilience and whatnot. He's no longer that way. Obviously, my children are not going to know public boarding school, and they are not going to be there to where you're being bullied, you're bathing with cold water or whatever. Like, I feel like people need to be open to recognizing that there are other ways to learn the lessons you learned without it being as brutal as the way you learned it. Like, the only way to build resilience is not necessarily, exactly going to a bad boarding school. A woman who has been trying for kids for the past 5 years, guarantee you she's built some level of resilience. She didn't need to go to a public boarding school for her to build that. I feel like there are many ways to learn the lessons that, exactly. And it's not necessarily the worst suffering that results in that. And I honestly, I've heard of people really resenting their parents because of that. It's like, you could give me a bit more comfort right now, but you don't want, like, no, I don't get it. Like, to each their own, but also, what the fuck?
Yeah, I vehemently disagree as well.
Yeah.
I do know that I would like my kids to be kind of the way I think about my parents' wealth, which is like, it's none of my business, and whatever I get, I get.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people are scared of.
Exactly.
Like your kid just being like, mom,
I know, mom's got it. Yeah, no.
But,
yeah, exactly. You are actually a really good example of how that works. You see, and you didn't need to suffer. You didn't need to go to a horrible school for you to whatever.
Yeah, this is true. Okay, do I have a
light one?
Okay, propaganda I'm not falling for. Alcohol consumption.
Ooh, I had one like this. Normalized drug and alcohol abuse is what I've said.
It is, and it's normalized. It is. Like, do you see some of those, like, some videos people post of like, I'm having one drink, and literally like someone is at the beach.
Drink.
They're at the beach, like literally naked. They've lost their mind and
Yeah. No, guys.
Yeah,
I feel
no.
like our generation is creating like people who are going to be seriously in rehab for a really long time.
Rehab are opening up every day.
I'm telling you, and it all just starts as this fun thing of like Monday you're out drinking with your friends, Tuesday you're out drinking. Before you know it, every
Monday.
single time you're hanging out with your, because you know it's like Monday blues. You know, come let's just catch a drink. Oh, Tuesday, wow, let's just go catch a drink. Oh, what is it? Wine Wednesday. Woo, let's go get some wine. Another Thursday, no. No, and then every time you're hanging out, it's over drinks.
Tuesday.
Yeah, every time you can never ever have any hangout, even if it's a house party or whatever, without alcohol, without drugs. No, no,
for sure.
It's
That's
too
something like
normalized.
we
Too normalized. Yeah,
absolutely
Yeah.
need to get serious about.
Yeah.
And the people who are like kind of perpetuating it is like you might have it under control, but and not everyone who doesn't have it under control, but because many people are looking like they don't have it under control, can we manage how we are presenting it so that we stop idolizing it in a way that people are really losing it? There's this lady, she was like from Made in Chelsea, her name is Millie McIntosh. As in Macintosh, she comes from Macintosh, the people, her family invented it, and of course she's got so much wealth, and she was talking about how her alcohol, she's been talking about her alcohol-free journey, and she literally was like, there's some days that she was like, she'll wake up, she doesn't know where she is, like she would drink to the point of like she had no regard for her safety. You know, by the way, we forget that when your brain is no longer functioning, your safety is like you don't have any safety at all.
That's actually so true. When we're in Dubai, Dora, me and Dora were sharing a room. So I kept seeing, like, I'm like, Dora, what happened here? She's like, oh, there was a time when I was really drunk and I fell off a boda. And she's like, every time she was drunk, she wouldn't even feel the pain. It's the next day that she wakes up and she'd be like, whoa, I like literally got this huge scratch here. I was burnt by something here. I was whatever. Actually, we end up forgetting that. Also, I feel like many people don't know how people become addicts. It's always fun and games until now you're addicted. And how addiction happens is that it's just like the normalization of like, oh, every time you go out you have a drink. Now every time you go out it's like more 2 to 3 drinks. Now every time you go out it's 2 to 3 drinks and like maybe a couple of shots or whatever. For me personally, I'm not on an alcohol-free journey. I drink alcohol, but like I can tell in a certain week when it's like, no, it's too much. First of all, it cannot be back-to-back days that I am drinking the alcohol unless I'm on holiday, and then it can't be during the week. What is happening that I'm drinking on a Tuesday?
Yeah, I know.
What is going on?
Any kind of overconsumption to me shows lack of self-control. And so what we are saying is that we are not giving people enough agency to kind of limit what they are consuming, and that's a bit worrying.
Yeah, for
really
sure,
worrying.
for sure. Okay, get to our followers ones. Okay, another one that I had, propaganda I am not falling for is the narrative of marriage is just a sheet of paper.
Yeah, people are definitely pushing that.
I feel like, we're in the age of like, can we stays, or people just, this is just my partner, my lifelong partner. I am a believer in marriage. I love marriage and I think it works. Marriage works. Hashtag need Jesus. Hello. So I am not falling for that propaganda of just like, oh, it's just the same. Like if you live in the same house, you have kids, like what's the difference? There's a difference. There's a difference in the eyes of God. There's a difference in the eyes of the law. And there's a difference to your parents. That's for sure. So for me, it makes a difference.
When people say that, I tend to believe that they're using it as a reason not to.
I too.
And that's okay. And listen, everyone has choice, but I don't know why.
And it's always women who say it. That's the thing. Yeah.
Or when a man doesn't want to and he's telling you why he doesn't want to.
In fact, sometimes when someone says that, when someone says that, I'm just like, have you always believed that? Or has your man said it enough times that you now feel like that's the only option for you? That's the question. Thank you.
That's enough from you.
Thank you.
But I don't think it's a piece. And I think it's okay to have the choice to say that you just want to be in this way without this being nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Guys, someone said propaganda, they're not falling for motherhood.
I'm falling for it, but like more like sitting down slowly.
Yeah, not like
not like ball face falling without seeing all of the sacrifices and seeing like all of the things that really come with being wide awake about it.
I definitely feel like I fell for sure.
Like most people did. You didn't reach your 30s before.
That's the thing. I feel like at the time I was becoming a mom, and I'm not thinking now Ethan, not counting Ethan. These are the two girls. It was more of like I definitely felt at that point like you've gotten married, it makes sense, have kids. So it wasn't really, but I really thank God for that, because I feel like if I had waited, I would then not have had the kids, because now I would be awake to it. At the time I was having Kenny and Mtana, I wasn't really like, it was just more like, oh, I have the
Autopilot.
kids. It was very autopilot. And I feel like now, that's what I was saying, you women who are in your 30s right now and you're not yet married with kids.
No, I know I will. If the right partner for me is like a huge part of it.
Yeah.
But I know I want to, but it's like a consciousness about it. And I guess because of some of the things that I've experienced under the hands of a parent who's doing their best. I want to like use my brain about it. So it's like some people would definitely not have kids because they waited and they're just like seeing all of the
now you know
sacrifices, and some would do it but do it consciously.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes sense. If you get to like 40 and you haven't met like the man, would you be open to adoption? Or to what's it called? Not IVF.
I think I'll adopt if I have biological children. I would really love to do that. But I don't know if I'll adopt. Period. I don't know.
Insemination?
I don't think so. Yeah, I think it's kind of like the family that I want or nothing.
But you know, even if you get married, you still might not have the family that
I
you
might not,
yeah.
but my attempt to.
Okay.
That's really, really important.
That does
yeah,
make
but I'm not
sense.
sure if I would adopt on my own. I don't know.
I don't know why I feel like you would.
With like
although
a
I don't think it's going to happen.
one
I feel
girl,
like, yeah.
chic,
exactly,
chic
you and your
parenting.
little, So
Maybe.
cute. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, that one is for sure. I'm not sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you have naming? What would be your naming tradition?